My dear students of Medicine and Allied Sciences, I am happy to reach you through this video presentation on revision of histology. I am Dr. J.P. Gunasekharan, Professor of Anatomy at Pondicherry Institute of Medical Sciences and also author of Textbook of Histology, Atlas and a Practical Guide by Elsevier Publication. The slides you are going to see in this presentation are not new to you. You would have already seen these slides in your medical school during histology practical classes. Presentation of this type gives you a quick review of all the slides with points of identification and related questions which are often asked. The whole histology is divided into 18 presentations, each of which is of 15 to 20 minutes duration. So the entire histology can be covered in 6 hours of viewing and listening. Now let's go to the presentation. This presentation deals with blood vessels. Blood vessels are a closed system of tubes that deliver nutrient, oxygen and hormones to tissues of the body and remove metabolic waste products and carbon dioxide from them through blood. Blood vessels are of 3 types, namely arteries, capillaries and veins. Arteries are thick-walled blood vessels that arise from the heart, carrying blood to different parts of the body. They divide repeatedly like a branch of a tree and gradually become smaller in size. Finally, end in capillaries. The arteries can be classified into large artery or elastic artery, medium-sized artery or muscular artery, small artery or arteriole based on size and structure. The capillaries are thin-walled blood vessels that connect arterioles and venules. They are involved in exchange of gases, nutrient and metabolites between blood and tissues. So they are often referred to as exchange vessels. The veins are the ones that bring blood from the capillaries to heart. Large veins are formed by union of small veins like tributaries of a river. The veins are subdivided into large vein, medium-sized vein and small vein or venule based on the size. The basic structure of a blood vessel, whether it is an artery or a vein, is composed of 3 coats, namely from inner to outer, tunica intima, tunica media and tunica adventitia. Tunica intima is composed of endothelial lining and subendothelial connective tissue. The tunica media is made of smooth muscle and connective tissue. Tunica adventitia is a fibroelastic connective tissue at the periphery. This is a section of large artery. It is also called elastic artery because it contains many elastic laminae in the tunica media. This can be appreciated well under high magnification where they are seen as pink wavy refractile fibers. These elastic fibers allow the wall to expand during systole and to recoil during diastole of heart, permitting a continuous and even flow of blood through the arterial channel distally. The tunica media also contains few smooth muscle fibers in between the elastic laminae. The tunica adventitia contains blood vessels called vasa vasorum to nourish the outer part of the wall of the artery. This is a HND section of large or elastic artery and it can be identified by the presence of thick tunica media with many elastic laminae, vasa vasorum in tunica adventitia, and a well-developed subendothelium. As age advances, the large artery as well as coronary artery show atherosclerotic changes in the wall. These changes are thickening of tunica intima, accumulation of lipid in myointimal cells, formation of fibrofatty plaque in intima known as atheroma, calcification of tunica media called arteriosclerosis. These changes may bring about gradual narrowing of the lumen, causing infarction or stroke. The other age-related change is loss of elasticity leading to weakening and ballooning of the wall called aneurysm. A rupture leads to death. This is a medium-sized artery. It is also called muscular artery because plenty of smooth muscle fibers are present in the tunica media. The presence of smooth muscle fibers helps to control the flow of blood. The another characteristic feature of muscular artery is the presence of a well-developed internal elastic lamina thrown into wavy fold beneath the endothelium. The tunica adventitia is relatively thin. Please note the inner part of the adventitia contains more elastic fibers. This is a H&D drawing of medium-sized muscular artery, and it is characterized by the presence of thick tunica media with many smooth muscle fibers and a well-developed internal elastic lamina which is thrown into folds. This is a photo micrograph of a muscular artery and an elastic artery under higher magnification. Compare the structural details of these two. You can see a well-developed internal elastic lamina in the tunica intima of muscular artery, whereas the internal elastic lamina is not well developed in the elastic artery. Moreover, you have the elastic laminae are plenty in the tunica media and the muscle fibers are very few. It is vice versa in the muscular artery. The same differences have been shown here in the form of a table. This is a medium-sized vein. Like any other blood vessel, it has got three coats, namely tunica intima, tunica media, and tunica adventitia. This medium-sized vein differs from the medium-sized artery in having no internal elastic lamina, thick tunica adventitia, and a large collapsed lumen containing blood cells. The veins are provided with valves to prevent backflow of blood. Intactness of endothelial lining ensures free flow of blood. Any breach of endothelial lining leads to thrombus formation, thrombophlebitis, which is more common in veins. This is a H&D drawing of medium-sized vein, and it is characterized by the presence of thin tunica media with few smooth muscle fibers, thick tunica adventitia, and no internal elastic lamina. This is a table showing the differences between medium-sized artery and medium-sized vein. This is a section of large vein. Example, superior vena cava or inferior vena cava. The large vein is characterized by the presence of thick tunica adventitia, which contains bundles of smooth muscle fibers running parallel to the long axis of the vein. Contraction of muscle fibers helps in venous return of heart. The tunica intima is well developed with a thick layer of subendothelium. This is a HND drawing of large vein and is identified by the presence of thick tunica adventitia with longitudinally oriented bundles of muscle fibers, well developed tunica intima, and thin or absence of tunica media. This is a high power view of a venule and an arteriole. See the difference between these two. The wall is thin relative to the size of the lumen in the venule, whereas it is opposite in the arteriole. The blood in the lumen is relatively less in the arteriole than in the venule. The tunica media is thin and is made up of few layers of smooth muscle fibers. Here, the tunica media is thick with many layers of smooth muscle in arteriole. The postcapillary venules are lined by tall cuboidal endothelial cells, especially those found in mucosa-associated lymphoid tissue, facilitating leakage of fluids and migration of defensive cells. This is a schematic picture of capillaries. Here is a cross section of capillaries. On this side is the longitudinal section of capillaries. Capillaries are thin-walled blood vessels and have only endothelial lining. The lumen of a typical capillary is 7 to 9 micrometer wide. Since they are involved in exchange of gases, nutrient and metabolites, they are often called exchange vessels. On the basis of nature of endothelial lining, the capillaries are divided into continuous capillary, fenestrated and sinusoidal capillaries. In continuous capillary, the endothelium is continuous. Such continuous capillaries are seen in muscle, brain and lungs. In fenestrated capillary, the endothelium shows pores or fenestrae. Permeability is more in the fenestrated capillary than the continuous capillary. The fenestrated capillaries are seen in kidney, endocrine glands, intestinal villi, etc. The sinusoidal capillary has a large irregular lumen lined by discontinuous endothelium. Not only the endothelium is discontinuous, but the basal lamina is also discontinuous, permitting passage of blood cells and macromolecules. Such sinusoidal capillaries are seen in liver, bone marrow, spleen, etc. Now, what are the functions of capillaries? Permeability, that is exchange of gases and metabolites, they form blood-brain barrier, etc. And the metabolic function, the capillaries metabolize a wide variety of substances, and it has got anti-thrombotic function, that means prevents clot formation. This slide shows the probable viva questions which are often asked during the discussion. Please go through them. With this, we come to the end of presentation on blood vessels. Thank you for listening and watching.